Now that you know that there are all kinds of options you can use to actually enhance your charts, you can actually take this even further by using pictures or maybe some sort of graphic that you draw to make it even more pleasing. It could be something like you draw some arrows to a certain piece of the pie, or maybe you circle something on your chart. I want to show you how to use the drawing tools and use those to actually draw attention to certain places in your chart and make them more visually appealing. This is actually section 4 of module 11 where we're talking about charts. Using some of the drawing tools in the Microsoft Office products is a great way to draw attention to certain areas in your file. And you have these drawing tools available in PowerPoint, Word, Excel, and Access. Let me show you how these actually work. If you go up to the Insert tab, you'll notice here under the illustrations, we're going to start with shapes. They actually call these drawing tools. Here are different shapes that you can actually draw. You'll notice they're in categories. You've got the most recently used ones at the top, but there's categories of lines, there's basic shapes, there's arrows, flowcharts, stars and banners. You can kind of see all of these. Let's say that we start with a simple, what we call circle or an oval, and that's going to be this one right here. Let's say that I want to circle the highest total, which happens to be Germany. That's in F7. Notice my mouse looks like these black crosshairs. I can actually click and drag to draw that oval. If you just click your mouse and let go, you'll have a teeny tiny one that you really won't be able to work with. So when you go to do this, click and drag and don't let go of the mouse until you get it about the size you want it. Now what I can do is if I need it to be a little smaller, I can use these control handles around the edges to change the shape just a little bit. Now the shape is laying on top of the work we've done. I can't see that 10,800 through this. If I choose this shape, you'll notice that you have a new contextual tab called Drawing Tools. There are tons of things under here, and we've looked at a couple of these already. But one of the things I want to do is go ahead and take all the color out of this so I can see through it. What I'm going to do is use the Shape Fill option, but I'm going to say No Fill. And now you'll notice that it looks like I circled the 10,800. Now let me go ahead and make that line a little bit thicker. I'm going to do that with the Shape Outline option here. We were able to choose different colors from here, so let's say I wanted red, for example, but I also want to make it a little thicker. That's going to be the weight. Let's say I come down and pick 4.5. There you go. You can see it looks a lot nicer. It really brings attention to that 10,800 right there. Now let's say that I want to draw an arrow from this 10,800 down to the German piece of the pie, which happens to be this blue piece down here. What I'm going to do is go back to the Insert tab, back to my shapes, and I'm going to find an arrow. Now those are under the lines option usually. I'll just choose this one right here. And I'm going to just move the mouse over this circle, and do you see these glue points as they're called? You can actually glue where your starting point is and draw your arrow way down here to the German piece of the pie, just like that. And if you need to move it around, feel free to click on one of the circles on the edges and just move it up, down, left, right. And I want to make that a little bit thicker as well, just so that it will stand out. I'll choose that same red, and I'll go back to Shape Outline and change the weight. And now you can see that this really enhances what I'm talking about in my chart. Let me go back to Insert and just mention a few other things that you might be able to do. Like I said, you can put in pictures. These would be pictures already in your computer. You would have to go find that file. You can also put in an online picture. This will actually search the web for you and then find some pictures that have the Creative Commons license and actually return those so that you could actually use those. You would just type in what you're searching for here and then it would find it for you. And that's just a quick way that you can use what we call some of the different graphics options in Excel to enhance your charts. I would even be able to do that over on the Chart All Quarters the same exact way. It doesn't have to be the ones that are set up like the chart data like this. We've got one more thing in this particular module I want to talk to you about real quick, and that's how to link your chart titles back to the data. I will see you over in section 5.